What's going on, everybody on YouTube? This is dathip, hamster, the ones who's answering your questions on YahooAnswers.com about a huge amount of topics, issues, different categories, mostly dealing with theology or mostly dealing with video games. But aside from that, I'm here to bring you a simplistic video in regards to some of the games I have on my Nintendo 3DS. I only have, let's see here, okay, 9 games from my 3DS in physical form, but I think I have like 3 or 4 in digital form. Um, I want to talk about that the 3DS is one of the best handheld systems I've ever played in the long run. The 3DS has brought me back to play some awesome franchises that I've not played in a long time because of the 3D feature, the amount of portability of older console games from previous generations onto the 3DS, and to see it just manifest itself through the amount of support, worldwide, of the Western and Eastern Hemisphere. This console, or sorry, this handheld console, is fantastic. You got to pick it up. And I just want to give just again a quick overview of some of the games I have for my Nintendo 3DS that you have to pick up. That just are just flat out mandatory that you pick up. And I mean, not mandatory, but in that sense that it's absolutely recommended that you pick these up. Okay. I'm not going to say that, oh, you're not a fan of the 3DS or you're not a fan of Nintendo in general because you don't pick these games out, but these are games that really give the 3DS identity in comparison to its competition, the PlayStation and Vita, which is not doing well at all. And it's kind of funny, this system's actually selling a little more than the PlayStation 4 in Japan. That's kind of saying something. But aside from that, here's some games I want to go through. Pick it up. I'll show you the case itself, the cartridge, and the specifications of it, the features of it. So let's go through it. The first one that won Game of the Year last year, 2013, from GameSpot's website, that had a lot of fanboys and a bunch of idiots upset. And just, again, we're dealing with a subjective view of video games, and that is A Link Between Worlds: The Legend of Zelda. Fantastic game. A direct sequel to The Link to the Past. Direct sequel. Continues off. What can you say? And I just picked A Link to the Past for my Wii U based off the Club Nintendo feature that I had there for a couple of points. I think it was 200. And I have not yet to play yet, but I'm now got free for the 200 points because, I'm a fan of the Club Nintendo. I get every single Club Nintendo point I can get my hands on, so I can redeem a Club Nintendo point. Aside from that, this game is fantastic. Like I said, a direct sequel to Link to the Past. You have to pick this up. Okay, this is the case right here. Quite beautiful, shiny. Sadly, it doesn't come with a booklet on instruction manual in regards to the 3DS system, precautions, and the back. And the only feature is a Street Pass. That's it. It's Zelda. There's not much, cooperative or, multiplayer compatibility, in regards to these series. It's always going to be single player, so pick this up. Second one is a port of a classic game that we've loved, and we're actually getting a new installment of this series, and we've never gotten one since the GameCube, so it's been a long, long time. I think it's been 9 years now. We're going to be getting in 2015. A release for the Wii U, which I will be purchasing day one. Okay. But I don't buy video games that often, just to let you know, so I'm not an addict. And that is Star Fox 64 3D. Okay, Ray E. I think 10 up. 10 up. Okay. Only ability here is download play for 2 to 4 players. Okay. Star Fox 64 has always been an awesome, stupendous game. I think it has 3 different variation difficulties. I'm not sure. I think it's 2 of them. I can't remember. It's been a long time since I've beaten this, but this is a fantastic port. Again, I'm just loving the fact that Nintendo's actually remaking some of the best classics for their handhelds. So for those who don't have the ability to buy an old 64, N64, or like a Super Nintendo, they can get these games on the handheld and upgrade it to a better resolution, graphically, better controls, more suitable. And the Wii U and 3DS Virtual Console backs this up. So Star Fox 64, you have to pick it up. Next up, Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop Distance. The game is actually the latest of the series in chronology. Okay, this is the 4th Kingdom Hearts game to be on a handheld, I believe. The 3DS had Kingdom Hearts 358/2 Days. It had Chains of Memories for the Game Boy Advance. It had Um, what's the other one called? I forgot the name of it. It's another one, but it's also released on the Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 remix for PlayStation 3. But it's just a list of cutscenes. But it's another installment that have all sold over 1 million copies, and this one right here obviously sold over 1 million copies. I'm not understanding why Kingdom Hearts 3 may not be coming to the Wii U. I don't understand it. But aside from that, as you know, that's Riku, Mickey Mouse, good stuff. Cards right there. You can take this code if you want. I don't care if you take it. I tried redeeming this on SquareEnix.com. I can't do it, so I don't care if you take this code or not. And right here. And the only features is have its local play versus co-op play, 2-player, Street Pass, and Circle Pad Pro. Awesome. Next up, fighting game, 2-player, online, locally, Street Fighter 4. Super Street Fighter 4, I'm sorry. The 3D edition. This is basically literally off Super Street Fighter 4, okay? As you know, Capcom is known for milking up their franchises, okay? But Super Street Fighter 4 is the second installment of the Street Fighter 4 series. The next one will be Street Fighter Arcade Edition. Then they release another one called Ultra Street Fighter 4, and they just keep milking it over and over again. But aside from that, there's a 3D edition for 3DS, and this is just like the shiny cover of it, and the backside too. We can take off the cover, you know, backside again, front cover. And again, to reiterate the features, we have the local play, download play, 2 players. The local play is 2 to 8 players. Internet, 2 players. Street Pass, simulation battle. So awesome, pick it up. Okay, you love Street Fighter, Ryu, Guy, Sakura, Sagat, all those classic characters in Street Fighter. Better pick it up. Next up, Game of the Year. Game of the Year, not for discussion. I'm a big fan of the second installment of this series back in the GameCube, which was one of my favorite games. And when the third installment was released for Nintendo Wii, I absolutely despised it for numerous reasons. And this installment just made me have a love for it again. I'm back on the Nintendo platform again, and that is Smash Bros. For the 3DS. I never ever thought that we would ever get Smash Bros. For an handheld. This is a dream come true for the Nintendo fans to have all these classic characters from several franchises, multiple IPs. Okay, Little Mac from Punch-Out, Pit from Kid Icarus, which is not a really known Nintendo franchise. We haven't seen a new installment of this series since the 3DS, Kid Icarus Uprising. We saw a Pit in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, which again, that's installment I hated, but we didn't see, you know, really any new installments, and it's been good to see these characters manifest themselves after a long time. Sadly, Ice Climbers has not returned, so I'm sorry, folks. It's Link, Mario, Pikachu, Pokemon, all your favorite cosplayer characters, Kirby, and there's of course way more unlockable. So no, this list right here, if you think that that's all the characters, I'm not telling you which ones to unlock or which ones are going to be unlocked. There's way more characters. I've already locked 5 of them, okay? 5 of them. And I'm only imagining how much more there's going to be. The roster, amazing. You haven't revealed all the characters. So that's the front and back. This is the front right here, okay? I've already deemed the Club Nintendo, so don't even waste your time. Club Nintendo is actually the cover sheet of the case. Yeah, it's not actually inside like most 3DS games that have Club Nintendo code. It's actually the cover sheet. So pick this up right here. I'm picking the Wii U version day one. Pokmon X. All I want to say is that Pokmon X and /Y, which I don't have, but Pokemon X/Y series have made me fall in love with Pokemon. I have not played Pokemon, and I'm not joking. I have not played Pokemon since Sapphire on the Game Boy Advance. Have not touched it. Have not touched Black and have not touched the Gold versions and the Silver Crystal versions of those installments for the Nintendo DS. Have not touched Black version, White version. Have not touched any of these versions at all. Have not touched them. Okay? Pokemon X has made me fall in love because it includes the first, second, and third generation with new Pokemon in this one, and it just keeps building up. Okay? You are going to have your ordinary starters, fire, grass, and water Pokemon to choose from. Right there. Characters like Pikachu, Meryl, Mewtwo, Charizard, you name it. It's all in there. This game, packed with content with local play, 2 to 4 players, internet 2 to 4 / co-op, Street Pass, exchange player data, Spot Pass. Come on now. Replayability, and we're getting the new remake installment, Omega Ruby and Sapphire Alpha for the 3DS this year. Come on now. I'll be picking up this time Omega Ruby because last generation, or sorry, several generations ago, You know, I picked up Sapphire for the Game Boy Advance. Now I'm gonna actually change up things a bit. I'm gonna play as Groudon this time. Okay, not Kyrog. Pokmon X, gotta pick it up. Sold like what? I don't know how many copies. 20 million, I think. Anyway, this right here is one of the oldest video game franchises of all time. This right here, you have to pick it up. It's on Amazon.com. It's going for 15 bucks. Tetris Access, right here. It has local play, 2 to 8 players, download play versus co-op, 2 to 8 players, internet, 2 to 8 players, spot pass, connect to internet hotspots. Has marathon mode, fever mode, jigsaw mode, AR climber, and multiple more modes. I think there's 6 more. I couldn't remember. There's a list that was displayed on their website. So many modes to play from. Fantastic music. Great frame rate. You can't go wrong with Tetris. It's an old school franchise that's just improving every generation. I'm not joking. I've not played Tetris since the Game Boy Pocket. It's been that long since I played Tetris. It's been that long, folks. So pick this up. And a new Tetris game is actually coming out this year. I believe in November or December. So watch out for that. Next up, a series that started on the DS, and the fourth installment started on the 3DS, and that's Tetris Odyssey 4, right here. A great RPG. Borrow some of the elements of Shin Megami Tensei in a first-person view. That's this, instruction manual right there. Precautions, cartridge in the back, and only has Street Pass, and that's it. It's flat single player. This game is one of the most difficult RPGs I've ever played in a long time. This game has difficulty, and in fact, if you actually download the demo off the eShop, you're able to play up to the level 10, okay, and then you're not restricted to level 10, and then afterwards, you have to buy the full game in order to advance afterwards. This game can be played many times, okay, over and over and over again. It's by Atlas. And a Shin Megami Tensei series, but I will never play Shin Megami Tensei because I'm a born-again Christian. That game's filled with demonic and angelic, content that's ungodly, just demonic stuff that's should not be brought into a video game. But aside from that, it's a fantastic game you got to pick up. It's a game practically based on the aspects of nature, or dealing with horses, dealing with rocks, dealing with enemies that are in nature form. Geological established enemies like rock monsters, horses, reindeer, rabbits. You find all types of stuff in this weird forms. Flies, very vicious forms. And this game is just fantastic. You have to pick it up. Enjoyable story, enjoyable conversation, always on your toes. Very difficult. Okay, it's not your typical RPG where you can save anytime you want. You have to actually exit out of dungeons in order to save. You know what I'm saying? Very difficult. And lastly, probably the most replayable series I have ever encountered that will put you 500 to 1,000 hours in this game alone, and you'll probably still not get bored of it. It has three different difficulties. I can't remember them all. I can't remember none of them. Okay, but you have to pick this up. You have to pick this up. This is an old school third person strategy RPG that's extended for several years that you have to pick up. And it's one of the best-selling Fire Emblem games of all time. Fire Emblem Awakening. And aside from Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn on the original for the Game Boy Advance and stuff like that, folks, this right here, okay, by Intelligent Systems, I believe, said that if this game would not sell well on 3DS, they were not going to make no more Fire Emblem games. And guess what? It sold even way more than they anticipated. Okay? 3-4 amount of times. So I don't know the sales for the figure for this game. But we know it's sold to over 2 million already. And I can only imagine the sales. I have to go to VGCharts.com. But this game is fantastic. You have to pick it up. Okay? It has local play for 2 players, internet, download maps. Yes, folks. We're talking about not only just playing through the main campaign, and it's playing in different ways that you want to play in. Okay, it's not linear in any aspect. A strategy RPG, play it the way you see fit. And guess what? You can download extra content. Some of the content in this game is for free. Few of it you gotta pay for, but some of it, or I may be mistaken if I said you have to pay for it, because I mostly remember just downloading stuff for free. And then that free content can add up to 2 to 5 hours. I mean, it's insane. It's insane. And it has a Street Pass feature and Spot Pass. So you receive special units, maps, items, and more. That's fantastic for a game like this. I bought this game for $28.99 off Amazon, brand spanking new, and it's just used. I'm sorry, because I already redeemed it on Club Nintendo, so there's no point buying me a new. I already gave Intelligence my money. I would gladly do so as well, but I can't redeem the Club Nintendo point again. You know, and trying to give the Club Nintendo point to somebody on the internet, some people just don't listen. So you have to pick this up. You have to. And I don't think I showed it. Did I? Did I show it? Oh. Sorry. Have to pick this up. So, folks, that's all the 3DS games I got. I also have a few others on the Nintendo 3DS itself in digital form. I have Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. I also have that game for the Wii U because last year, 2013, there was a promotion going on by Nintendo, or I think Capcom, that if you buy Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate for the Wii U and the 3DS, you will get a $20 discount, or I think a $30 discount. So it was awesome. So I have it both for the 3DS and the Wii U, but the Wii U version is physical, and my 3DS version is digital. Okay, I have Super Mario Bros. 2 in digital form, and I have The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time digital. That's it, I believe. All the other games are either eShop games or, eShop Virtual Console games. That's it. And a lot of those games I got for free due to the Club Nintendo features, you know, like using my coins in order to get some of those games for free. Like Super Mario Bros. 2 for the Wii U, or Kirby's Superstar, or Mega Man X and stuff like that. Just awesome stuff. Nintendo's awesome. I just want to leave this note on that if you're a born-again Christian, all those games that I mentioned for you are absolutely suitable for you. Okay, Nintendo makes games that don't advocate grotesque violence and adultery and other types of fornication and lying, cheating, stealing, and all these other elements that the Bible condemns. I'm a born-again Christian, so I'm not going to play no games that are hardcore, rated, mature. Okay, so they don't advocate, again, grotesque violence. They don't advocate, any form of sexual imagery to falter a Christian. Profanity, and if it is, it's very little. I think the only two I can think of is either Street Fighter 4, Super Street Fighter 4 3D Edition, Cammy's Elusive is a little too skimpy, but her whole top is covered up, but her bottom, a little not so much. And who else? I think the character's name is Tharja for the Fire Emblem Awakening. Too much revealing at the bottom portion as well. Aside from that, it's decent. Very decent. So those are the 3DS games that I advise you to pick up. I know it's a long video. I'm not an eloquent speaker. I'm proficient in reading and writing and typing. But when it comes to speaking, I need to practice more of my speech. So I need a drink. And you guys have a good day. God bless you. Yahweh, praise Him. Yeshua, praise Him. Glory to the Most High.